The 3 moons of Zelar Prime cast their glow across the landing pad as the human ship touched down. Amy Wilson stood at the viewport watching the alien world come into view. Her heart raced with both fear and excitement. She was the first human, female to be invited to the royal palace of the Zanari Empire. The tall, purple-skinned aliens waited in formation, their forearms held in formal greeting posture. Amy smoothed down her diplomatic uniform and took a deep breath. The fate of Earth might depend on this mission. Humans were still new to galactic society, and the Zanari were one of the most powerful species in this sector of space. Their queen Nilara was known across 12 star systems for her intelligence and fierce protection of her empire. The ship doors opened with a soft hiss and Amy stepped onto alien soil. The air felt thicker than Earth. Air rich with strange scents, her translator device hummed at her ear ready to convert the complex musical language of the Zanari. A tall female Zanari stepped forward. Her skin shimmered with bioluminescent patterns that pulsed with each movement. Her head crest extended fully, showing her high rank. Welcome, human female. I am First Commander Talara. The translator converted her musical tones into flat English. Our queen awaits your presence. Amy bowed slightly in the way she had been taught. The gesture seemed to please the commander. Thank you for your welcome. I am honored to represent Earth. The Zanari escorted her toward a crystal tower that spiraled up toward the pink sky. Their movements were fluid and graceful, making Amy feel clumsy by comparison. The gravity here was slightly lighter than Earth, but the air pressure was greater, creating a strange sensation with each step. The palace interior glowed with soft light that seemed to come from the walls themselves. Living architecture responded to their presence, doors opening without touch, and corridors adjusting their width to accommodate the group. Amy tried to hide her wonder, but the commander noticed. You find our home strange, human, different but beautiful, Amy replied. The commander tilted her head, studying Amy with large violet eyes. Humans adapt quickly. This is why our queen wishes alliance. The Zanari value adaptation. They entered a vast chamber where dozens of Zanari stood in concentric circles. Around a raised platform, the patterns on their skin glowed in synchronized pulses, creating waves of light throughout the room. Amy realized this was some form of communication happening beyond her translator abilities. The circles parted, creating a path to the center. Amy followed the commander, her legs feeling weak with each step. The diplomatic briefings had not prepared her for the overwhelming, alien presence of so many Zanari in one place. On the central platform stood a figure taller than any other Zanari. Her purple skin had golden undertones, and the crest on her head was elaborate and luminous. 4 slender arms adorned with ceremonial markings gestured in fluid movements that caused ripples of light to move through the assembled crowd. Queen Nilara, First Commander Talara, announced, bowing deeply. Amy followed the proper protocol, sinking to one knee and lowering her eyes. The silence in the chamber became absolute. Rise, human female. The queen's voice through the translator sounded melodic despite the electronic conversion. I would see your eyes. Amy stood meeting the gaze of the most powerful being in this sector of space. The queen's eyes were mesmerizing, deep violet with gold flecks that seemed to move and shift like tiny stars. You are smaller than I expected, the queen said, moving closer. Her movements were hypnotic, fluid like water. The 4 royal arms moved in patterns that seemed to have meaning beyond words. Your species shows remarkable courage coming so far from your world. Thank you, Your Majesty, Amy replied. Earth seeks peaceful relations with all spacefaring species. The queen made a sound that the translator did not convert. Perhaps laughter, perhaps something else entirely. Your planet is primitive, yet you venture into space with such confidence. Do all humans share this trait? We are curious by nature. Your Majesty, Amy said, we seek to learn and grow. The queen circled Amy, studying her from all angles. The assembled Zanari watched silently, their skin patterns pulsing in unison. The air felt charged with energy. I sense something unusual in you, human. The queen stopped directly before Amy. Her upper arms extended, hands hovering near but not touching Amy's face. Your mind has barriers most species lack. Amy felt a strange pressure against her thoughts, a gentle probing that made her temples tingle. She had been warned about Zanari telepathic abilities, but experiencing it was disorienting. Most interesting, the queen said. Her crest expanded fully, glowing with intense light. You resist without effort, what humans call instinct. Perhaps this explains how your primitive species has survived. The queen turned, addressing the assembled Zanari in their native language. The translator struggled with the complex tones, but Amy understood enough. This human female will remain in the royal household. We will study their adaptability. Panic fluttered in Amy's chest. This was not part of the diplomatic agreement. She was supposed to stay 3 Earth days, then return with preliminary treaty terms. Your Majesty, I am expected to return to Earth. The queen turned her gaze back to Amy. The gold flecks in her eyes seemed to spin. Faster, your leaders will be informed of my decision. This honors your species, human. It is rare for any non-Zanari to enter the royal household. First Commander. Talara approached. Something in her posture suggested concern. My queen, the human physiology requires different environmental conditions. The queen made a dismissive gesture with her lower arms. My scientists have studied humans thoroughly. This one will adapt, or she will not. If she cannot survive our world, then her species is not worthy of alliance. Amy realized she had become a test subject. The success or failure of her adaptation would determine Earth's standing with the Zanari Empire. She straightened her shoulders, meeting the queen's gaze directly. I accept your invitation. Your Majesty, I will represent humanity with honor. Unexpected, the queen said. Her crest pulsed with new patterns. Most species show fear when their path is changed. You show determination. The commander will prepare suitable quarters. Prepare yourself, human. Tomorrow you begin life among the Zanari. As Amy followed the commander from the chamber, she felt the weight of her new responsibility. Earth needed this alliance, but no human had lived among the Zanari before. Their customs, their biology, their society, all remained mysterious, and now she would be immersed in their world completely alone. The moons of Zealer Prime continued their eternal dance across the alien sky as Amy Wilson began her journey into the unknown heart of the Zanari Empire. The royal quarters assigned to Amy were unlike anything she had imagined. The ceiling rippled with bioluminescent patterns that responded to her emotions. The floor adjusted to her steps, providing perfect support. The temperature shifted subtly. To match her body needs, the Zanari had studied humans more thoroughly than Earth had realized. Commander Talara returned as Amy explored her new home. The tall alien stood in the doorway, her forearms in a formal position. Our queen requests your presence at the evening meal. This is unusual for new arrivals. Amy nodded, trying to hide her nervousness. What should I wear? Commander Talara tilted her head in what Amy was beginning to recognize as confusion. Your current covering is insufficient. The commander approached a wall which responded by opening to reveal strange garments. The fabric, if it was fabric, seemed to move slightly as if alive. This will adapt to your form and provide appropriate protection. The commander selected a flowing garment with shifting colors. A royal attendant will arrive soon to assist. Amy thanked her, and the commander departed, leaving her alone with the strange clothing. When she finally worked up the courage to touch it, the material felt cool and silk, like it moved under her fingers almost with purpose. The promised attendant arrived shortly afterward, a smaller Zanari female with pale lavender skin and gentle movements. She helped Amy into the garment, which adjusted itself, molding perfectly to her body. The sensation was strange but not unpleasant. The attendant guided Amy through the crystal corridors of the palace. Other Zanari stopped to observe her, their skin patterns flashing in what might have been surprise or curiosity. The translator could not interpret these silent communications, leaving Amy feeling at a disadvantage. The dining hall was vast, a soaring space with what appeared to be a living ceiling that rippled with colors matching the emotions of those below. Dozens of high-ranking Zanari were already present, their skin patterns pulsing in synchronized waves. Amy recognized this as some form of communal communication happening beyond her perception. Queen Nylara sat at the center of a curved table. Her golden purple skin glowed with inner light that made her stand out among her people. She gestured with an upper arm, and Amy was led to a seat unnervingly close to the queen herself. "The human accepts our hospitality," the queen announced, her voice through the translator carried subtle tones the device struggled to convey. "Tonight we welcome her to the first meal." Amy noticed there were no utensils on the table, only shallow bowls filled with what appeared to be moving food. The Zanari used their secondary hands to select morsels while their primary hands remained in formal positions. The queen noticed Amy's hesitation and made a sound the translator did not convert. "You find our nourishment disturbing. I am unfamiliar with the proper eating customs." "Your Majesty," Amy admitted. The queen extended one of her lower arms, selecting a purple morsel from Amy's bowl. The movement was surprisingly intimate, causing several nearby Zanari to pulse with bright patterns. "Observe human." The queen consumed the morsel directly. "It requires no processing. We absorb the energy directly." Amy realized she was expected to do the same. With carefully controlled movements, she selected a small piece, trying to mimic the queen's actions. The food tingled on her fingers, and as she brought it to her mouth, she noticed it gave off a faint glow. The taste was unlike anything on Earth. Somehow both sweet and savory, with a texture that dissolved instantly on her tongue. A pleasant warmth spread through her body immediately. The queen watched. Her reaction with obvious interest. Commander Talara had explained humans must consume materials for energy. "Is this sufficient? It is quite good?" "Your Majesty," Amy said truthfully. The queen seemed pleased. "You adapt quickly. This confirms my observations about your species." Throughout the meal, Amy felt the constant attention of the queen and the other Zanari. They studied her every movement with scientific interest. She was both diplomatic representative and research subject. When the meal concluded, the queen rose, causing all Zanari present to stand immediately. "The human will attend me in my private chambers. Commander Talara, prepare the connection." Chamber Talara bowed deeply, though something in her posture suggested concern. "My queen, the human physiology has not been fully tested for deep connection." The queen made a dismissive gesture with her secondary hands. "I will determine the human's limitations myself." Amy followed the queen through crystal corridors that seemed to reshape themselves. As they passed other Zanari they encountered pressed themselves against walls, their crests lowered in deep deference. The queen moved with fluid grace, her forearms in constant subtle motion creating ripples of light across her skin. The queen's private chambers were breathtaking. A vast space with walls that seemed to open to the night sky. Though Amy suspected it was an illusion, the floor glowed with patterns that followed their steps, and strange floating orbs provided soft illumination. "You have questions, human?" the queen said, settling onto a raised platform that adjusted to her form. Amy chose her words carefully. "Your world is beautiful. Your Majesty, I am honored to experience it, but I do not understand why I was chosen." The queen studied, her head crest expanding slightly. "Your species is new to galactic society. Most new species arrive cautiously. Your kind came boldly with curiosity and adaptability. You particularly showed these traits in our selection process." Amy remembered the rigorous testing Earth representatives had undergone before the diplomatic mission was approved. She had scored highest in adaptability and stress response. The queen continued, "Other species fear our telepathic abilities. Your kind shows natural resistance. This intrigues us." Before Amy could respond, Commander Talara entered the chamber. "The connection chamber is prepared, my queen." The queen rose with fluid grace. "The human will understand our ways better after connection." Amy followed, feeling increasingly uneasy. They entered a smaller chamber where several devices of unknown purpose hung from the ceiling. The walls pulsed with synchronized light patterns. Stand here, human. The Queen positioned Amy in the center of the room. The commander will monitor your biological functions. This is necessary to ensure your safety. What exactly is connection? Your Majesty, Amy asked, as the commander attached small devices to her temples and wrists. The Queen made the untranslatable sound. Again, Zanari share consciousness. It is our primary form of communication. Your species uses primitive sound vibrations which lose much meaning. We will attempt limited connection to understand your mind patterns. Amy felt her heart race. Though Earth, intelligence had suspected the Zanari had telepathic abilities. They had no idea the aliens could share consciousness. The diplomatic implications were enormous. The Queen positioned herself opposite Amy. Her forearms extended, the upper pair hovering near Amy's head. The commander's skin pulsed with rapid patterns that suggested concern. Relax your mind, human, the Queen said. Her voice seemed to come from inside Amy's head rather than through the translator. Breathe as your species does for calming. Tried to slow her breathing, focusing on remaining calm. The Queen's eyes seemed to expand, the gold flecks swirling faster. The pressure against Amy's thoughts returned stronger than before. A tingling sensation spread from her temples throughout her. Body images flooded her mind. Earth forests and oceans. Human cities with their angular architecture. The feeling of rain. The sound of music. The complex emotions of human relationships. All viewed through the filter of alien perception. In return, Amy glimpsed fragments of Zanari consciousness. The vast complexity of their hive mind-like communication. The perception of light as language. The sense of self that extended beyond individual bodies to encompass their entire species. The connection ended abruptly. Amy found herself on her knees, breathing heavily. The commander was beside her, monitoring the devices with quick movements of her secondary hands. Fascinating, the Queen said. Her skin pulsed with patterns too complex for Amy to interpret. Your species experiences existence with such isolation yet intensity. You feel everything alone. This explains much about human behavior. Amy struggled to her feet, her mind reeling from the alien contact. Commander Talara supported her with gentle pressure from her lower arms. Did you get what you needed? Your Majesty, Amy asked, her voice unsteady. The Queen approached her, skin now pulsing with slow rhythmic patterns. I have only begun to understand your kind. You will rest now. Tomorrow we will continue our exploration. I find your mind pattern unique, human. Perhaps this is why you were selected. As Amy was escorted back to her quarters, she realized that she had become far more than a diplomat. She was now the representative of human consciousness itself, and the Queen of the most powerful empire in this sector found her fascinating. The 3 moons of Zelar Prime continued their dance across the alien sky, casting their glow over a palace where human and Zanari minds had touched for the first time. Days passed in a blur of new experiences. Amy struggled to maintain her diplomatic focus as the Queen subjected her to increasingly intimate mind connections. Each session left her exhausted yet filled with fragments of alien knowledge. The Zanari communicated in ways humans had never imagined, sharing thoughts and emotions directly without the limitations of words. Commander Talara became her constant companion, guiding her through the complex social structures of the royal court. The commander seemed concerned about the Queen's intense interest in the human diplomat. The Queen has never shown such fascination with an off-worlder, Talara explained as they walked through the royal gardens where plants responded to their presence with gentle movements. The High Council grows concerned. Amy watched a flower fold and unfold as they passed, its petals changing color in response to their proximity. Is my presence causing political problems? The commander paused, considering her words carefully. The Queen's focus has shifted from certain imperial matters. Many believed your species would be granted minor trading rights. Now the Queen speaks of human exceptional qualities. It disrupts established hierarchies. Amy realized the political implications were growing complex. Her simple diplomatic mission had evolved into something far more significant. That evening, she was summoned again to the Queen's private chambers. This had become routine, but tonight something felt different. The Queen dismissed. Her attendants, including Commander Talara, an unprecedented breach of protocol. "We will connect without observers," the Queen announced, once they were alone. "Your Majesty is that wise?" Amy asked. "The commander monitors my biological responses to ensure my safety." The Queen made a dismissive gesture with her lower arms. "I have studied your responses sufficiently. I require no assistance to maintain your well-being." Before Amy could protest further, the Queen moved closer. Her forearms extended in the now familiar connection posture. The scent of her alien biology filled Amy's senses, a sweet metallic fragrance that had become strangely comforting. "Something has changed in your mind pattern, human." The Queen's voice seemed to bypass the translator, speaking directly into Amy's thoughts. "You begin to understand our ways." The connection formed faster now, Amy's mind opening more readily to the alien presence. The images flowed both ways. Humans dancing, humans creating art, humans embracing Zanari, communal consciousness, Zanari birth rituals, Zanari star maps. When the connection ended, Amy remained standing. This too was new, her resistance growing stronger with each session. The Queen studied her with intensity. "You adapt more quickly than anticipated. Your mind creates new pathways to accommodate our connection. Most species cannot evolve neural patterns this rapidly." Amy felt a strange pride at this. The Queen was essentially complimenting human neuroplasticity, a characteristic scientists had long believed might prove valuable in interspecies relations. The Queen moved to a wall which responded by revealing a hidden chamber. "Come, human. There is more. I would show you." The hidden room contained what appeared to be ancient artifacts, objects of unknown materials and purpose arranged with reverence. The Queen approached a pedestal at the center where a crystalline device pulsed with inner light. "This is the ancestral memory. All Zanari queens have added their consciousness to this repository. For 10,000 years it contains the collective wisdom of our species." Amy stared in wonder. Such technology was far beyond human capabilities. The implications for information storage alone were revolutionary. The Queen lifted the crystal with all 4 hands. "Today I will share with you what no off-worlder has ever witnessed. The true history of the Zanari." The connection that followed was unlike any previous experience. Amy felt herself drawn deep into alien history. She witnessed the evolution of Zanari consciousness from primitive beginnings to their current advanced state. She saw the birth of their empire, the wars with now extinct species, the development of their living technology, the genetic divergence that created the royal lineage. When it ended, Amy collapsed to her knees, overwhelmed. The Queen knelt beside her, a gesture of equality that would have shocked the royal court. "Now you understand, human. We were not always as we are now. We evolved. We adapted just as your kind does now. This is why you fascinate me. Your species stands at the same crossroads mine once did." Amy struggled to process the implications the Queen had shared, state secrets beyond anything Earth diplomats could have hoped for. "Why show me this?" The Queen extended, a hand helping Amy to her feet, a gesture so human it seemed out of place. "Because your mind can comprehend it. Because you do not fear difference. Because I have seen in your thoughts that humans dream of becoming more than they are. The same dream that shaped my ancestors." Amy realized with sudden clarity that this was no longer simply diplomatic relations. The Queen was considering humanity for something far more significant, an evolutionary alliance. "Your Majesty, such knowledge should be shared with Earth scientists, not just me." The Queen made the sound Amy now recognized as amusement. "You still think as an individual human. This is both your limitation and your strength. Earth will receive this knowledge in time. First, I must determine if your species is ready." A sudden commotion outside interrupted them. Commander Talara burst into the chamber, her skin pulsing with urgent patterns. "My Queen, forgive the intrusion. The Imperial fleet has detected unknown vessels approaching. They refuse identification." The Queen's crest expanded fully. her skin patterns shifting to what Amy recognized as alert status. The vessel's origin. The commander hesitated, her secondary hands moving in agitation. They appear to be human design, but do not match. Registered Earth vessels. Amy felt cold fear wash through her. There were rumors of human separatist factions operating beyond Earth Authority rogue groups who opposed alien contact. Their appearance now could jeopardize everything. I know nothing. Of this, Your Majesty, I assure you. The Queen studied her briefly. I sense your truth. Remain here. Commander, secure the palace. I will attend the command center. After they departed, Amy paced the Queen's chambers, anxiety building. Earth had warned all representatives about possible separatist activities, but no one expected direct interference. This diplomatic breakthrough could be destroyed by human extremists. Hours passed with no information. Amy was confined to the Queen's chambers, watched by royal guards. The 3 moons rose and set twice before Commander Talara returned. The human vessels have been contained. The commander reported. They refused communication and attempted to breach orbital defenses. 3 ships were destroyed. The others retreated. Amy felt sick. Earth would be blamed for this aggression even if the government had no knowledge of it. The Queen demands your presence in the detention level. A prisoner was recovered. Amy followed the commander through secured corridors, deeper into the palace than she had ever been. The detention level was carved from natural rock rather than the living crystal of the upper palace. The air felt heavy with ancient power. The Queen waited in a circular chamber. Her skin pulsed with patterns Amy had never seen before. Cold anger, perhaps, or determined focus. The prisoner has been subjected to truth extraction, the Queen stated without preamble. He claims to represent an Earth faction called Purity of Form. They oppose alien influence on human development. Amy nodded. These separatists believe contact with alien species will contaminate human potential. The Earth government has denounced them. The Queen circled Amy, studying her with new intensity. These humans attacked because of our connection. Their monitoring devices detected our mental exchanges. They fear what we share. Amy realized the implications. The separatists must have technology capable of detecting the unusual brain patterns created by Zenari connection. They had attacked specifically to prevent further exchange. This changes nothing. Your Majesty, extremists do not represent Earth. The Queen stopped directly before Amy. This changes everything human. The prisoner revealed their primary target was you. They consider you contaminated by alien influence. They came to eliminate you. Amy felt the blood drain from her face. Her own species considered her a traitor, merely for experiencing Zenari consciousness. The Queen continued. I have seen into your mind. You have seen into our history. Our minds have touched in ways few species can comprehend. I will not allow these separatists to destroy what we have begun. What will you do with the prisoner? The Queen made a gesture. Amy did not recognize. His mind was damaged by extraction. He will be studied, then recycled. Commander, prepare my personal vessel and select an elite guard. We traveled to Earth. Amy stared in shock. No Zenari queen had ever left their homeworld. Such a journey would be unprecedented. Your Majesty, that is impossible. The political implications. The Queen extended all 4 arms in a gesture of absolute authority. I will address your world leaders directly. I will show them what you and I have discovered, that our species can evolve together, that human and Zenari minds can create something greater than either alone. The declaration hung in the air between them. Amy understood that galactic politics had just been fundamentally altered. Her simple diplomatic mission had evolved into first contact of a kind no one had anticipated. The Queen's next words confirmed the seismic shift. You are mine now, my human ambassador. My bridge between worlds. I will present you to your leaders as proof of what is possible, and together we will show both our worlds the path to shared evolution. The Earth Council deliberated for 7 days. Heated debates raged among human leaders, some viewing the Zenari offer as humanity greatest opportunity, others seeing it as subtle conquest, the separatist faction. Purity of Form launched protests across major cities warning against alien contamination of human potential. Amy remained with Queen Nylara aboard the royal vessel now orbiting Earth. They continued their mental connections, each time growing deeper, more profound. Amy glimpsed possibilities for human evolution that bordered on the miraculous, while the Queen explored the chaotic creativity of human consciousness. Commander Talara reported daily on Earth reactions. Her assessments were measured but concerning. The humans divide on this matter, my queen. Some embrace evolution, others fear change. Their fractured governance makes unified decision difficult. The Queen received these reports with typical Zanari patience. Her species measured time differently, thinking in generations rather than years. But even her patience had limits. On the 8th day, Amy found the Queen on the observation deck, gazing down at Earth. Her skin patterns suggested deep contemplation. They fear what they do not understand. The Queen said, without turning even, as they yearn for it. This contradiction defines your species. Amy stood beside her, looking down at her homeworld. It seemed both precious and primitive from this distance. Humans have always been divided by fear and hope. Your Majesty, those who fear change will resist evolution. Those who hope for better futures will embrace it. The Queen turned to her skin, shifting to patterns Amy now recognized as affection. You understand both perspectives. This is why you are valuable, my human. You bridge not only our species but the divisions within your own. A communication alert interrupted them. Earth Council requested the Queen's presence. They had reached a decision. The diplomatic station hummed with tension as Queen Nylara and her entourage arrived. The Earth Council waited, their expressions guarded. Commander Talara positioned the Royal Guard strategically while Amy took her place beside the Queen Council leader. Chen stepped forward. We thank the sovereign of the Zanari for her patience. The Earth Council has considered the proposed evolutionary alliance. The council leader paused clearly, choosing her next words with extreme care. We cannot reach unanimous agreement. Some nations embrace your offer. Others require more time to consider the implications. We propose a modified approach. Willing individuals may volunteer for cultural exchange and limited consciousness, sharing under controlled conditions. The Queen remained silent, her skin patterns unreadable to human eyes. But Amy, who had shared her mind, felt the disappointment beneath the royal composure. Commander Talara moved closer to the Queen, her posture protective. They offer compromise, my Queen. This reflects human caution. Counselor Reynolds stepped forward, his expression hard. They offer more than they should. Your alien influence has already spread too far. The Wilson woman stands before us in your garments, thinking your thoughts. You speak of evolution, but we see assimilation. The Queen's crest extended fully, her skin pulsing with patterns Amy recognized as controlled anger. You mistake merging for conquest human. This reveals your species' limitation. You think always in terms of dominance, rather than symbiosis. Amy moved forward, sensing the deteriorating situation with respect, Counselor. I remain human. My experiences with the Zanari have expanded my perception, not replaced it. The Queen's offer is genuine. Their history shows similar caution when they faced evolutionary change. They overcome their fears. We can too. Another. Counselor Maya Bennett, who had remained silent, spoke. The compromise seems reasonable. Your Majesty, voluntary participation respects human autonomy while allowing exploration of the potential benefits. The Queen considered this, her forearms moving in subtle patterns that communicated with her commander and guards. Finally, she addressed the council. Your species stands at a crossroad. The path you choose now will echo through generations. I accept your compromise with conditions. Volunteers will come to Zeller Prime. They will experience true Zanari consciousness without your limitations. And my human ambassador will oversee the program. The council members exchanged glances. The Queen's counterproposal would give her significant influence over the human volunteers. The political implications were enormous. Council leader Chen cleared her throat. Volunteers remaining on Earth would be preferable. Your Majesty. The Queen made the sound Amy now recognized as determination, not amusement. Zanari. Consciousness cannot be fully shared in Earth environments. Your world lacks the necessary resonance fields. Volunteers must experience our world as the human ambassador has. They must walk our paths, breathe our air, absorb our light. Only then can true connection form. Amy understood what the Queen offered. The experience of Zelar Prime had prepared her mind for deeper connection. The living architecture, the resonant crystals, the aligned moons, all created conditions that facilitated mental sharing. Before the Council could respond, alarms blared throughout the station. Security breaches detected in multiple sections. Commander Talara moved instantly to protective formation around the Queen, her guards' weapons appearing from concealed position. Separatist attack. Council security reported through emergency channels. Purity of form militants have breached the station. Chaos erupted. Human security forces rushed to defend the Council members, while Zanari guards surrounded their Queen. The attackers appeared in doorways armed with weapons designed to disrupt Zanari bioluminescent communication. Their intent clear: to prevent the evolutionary alliance by any means. Amy found herself pulled into the protective circle with the Queen, the commander creating a living shield with her 4 armed warriors. The Queen, however, remained calm, her skin pulsing with patterns of focus rather than fear. They prove my point with violence, she said. She raised all 4 arms in a gesture Amy had never seen before. The air itself seemed to vibrate with unseen energy. Every Zanari in the chamber synchronized their skin patterns, creating waves of light that pulsed through the room. The human attackers staggered, disoriented by the psychic assault, a telepathic defense. Amy realized the Zanari were projecting unified thought patterns overwhelming the human nervous system. When it ended, the separatists lay unconscious. Council security moved to secure them. The human counselors stared at the Zanari with newfound respect and fear. You see now what we offer, the Queen said, lowering her arms. Not weapons, but consciousness. Unified purpose. We could have killed your attackers. Instead, we rendered them unconscious. Their minds intact. Their choices preserved. This is Zanari evolution. Power tempered by wisdom. Council leader Chen approached cautiously. You have protected this council at risk to yourself, Your Majesty. This will not be forgotten. The Queen turned to Amy, her skin patterns conveying meaning only Amy could now interpret. Tell them, my human. Tell them what they might become. Amy addressed the council with newfound authority, her experiences with the Zanari giving her insights few humans could claim. The Zanari offer us not conquest, but transcendence. I have touched their mind, shared their perception. I remain human, yet I understand them in ways impossible before. What you just witnessed was unified consciousness directed with precision. Their evolution gave them this gift. They offer to guide our species toward similar potential, not to replace us, but to help us become more fully ourselves. The council members looked at each other. Something had shifted. The demonstration of Zanari power used for protection rather than harm had made an impression deeper than words could have achieved. Council leader Chen stepped forward. The compromise stands, Your Majesty, but with modified terms. The volunteer program will proceed on Zelar Prime under joint oversight. Human and Zanari. Scientists will monitor evolutionary changes. Diplomat Wilson will serve as program director, reporting to both councils. The Queen extended her upper arms in the Zanari gesture of agreement. The first step on a long path. Your species will walk slowly, as mine once did. We will guide with patience as the diplomatic party prepared to depart. Commander Talara approached Amy, her skin pattern suggesting curiosity. You return to Zelar Prime as something new, not fully human, not Zanari, a bridge species, the first of your kind. How does this feel? Amy looked out at Earth floating below, then back to the commander. The question struck her as profoundly Zanari, concerned with feeling and perception, rather than mere function or duty. It feels like purpose. Commander, like finding a path I was meant to walk. The commander tilted her head in acknowledgement. You speak with Zanari insight, my friend. Perhaps this is why our Queen chose you. Your mind was already reaching toward us before we met. The royal vessel. departed Earth orbit, beginning its dimensional transition back to Zelar Prime. Amy stood beside the Queen, experiencing the shift with greater clarity than before. Her mind now partially attuned to Zenari perception when they emerged in Zelar space. The three moons greeted them aligned in perfect conjunction. The Queen regarded Amy with all four arms extended in the formal posture of equals. You are mine now, my human, the first bridge between our worlds. Others will follow. But you were first. You will help guide your kind as I guided you. The path of shared evolution begins with you. Amy looked out at the alien world that had become her second home. The crystal spires of the royal city gleamed in the light of three moons. The planet pulsed. With life and consciousness, she could now partially perceive her journey had transformed her. The royal vessel of Queen Nylara was unlike any ship Amy had ever seen. The hull seemed alive, pulsing with the same bioluminescent patterns as the palace walls. Inside corridors reshaped themselves as needed, and control interfaces responded to thought rather than touch a living ship for a species that valued life in all its forms. Amy stood on the observation deck watching as Zelar Prime shrank behind them. The three moons aligned in perfect conjunction, an omen the Zenari crew took as auspicious. Commander Talara stood beside her, forearms in formal position. No queen has left the homeworld in 7 generations, she said. Her skin patterns suggested concern, perhaps even fear. Our journey creates great change. Amy understood the immense political significance of this voyage. How would Earth respond to the unannounced arrival of the Zenari Queen herself, with a fleet of warships as escort? The diplomatic channels would be in chaos. The Queen joined them on the observation deck, her royal presence causing the crew to lower their crests in deference. She dismissed them with a gesture until only Amy and the commander remained. We approached the transition point, the Queen announced. The commander will prepare you for dimensional shift. Amy knew from her briefings that Zenari ships traveled through space using some form of dimensional technology that Earth scientists did not fully understand. The process was said to be disorienting for non-Zenari physiology. Commander Talara guided Amy to a preparation chamber where she was given a strange metallic liquid to drink. This will stabilize your consciousness during the shift. The commander's skin pulsed with what Amy had learned to recognize as concern. Few humans have experienced dimensional travel. Your nervous system may struggle to interpret the sensations. The liquid tasted of nothing yet seemed to expand inside Amy, filling her with warmth that spread to her extremities. She was led to a specialized chamber where the Queen waited. The walls pulsed with synchronized patterns, creating a hypnotic effect. You will remain with me during transition, the Queen stated. My consciousness will help anchor yours. Amy felt a surge of both gratitude and apprehension. The Queen was offering personal protection during what might be a dangerous process for a human mind, yet it would mean another intimate mental connection. The dimensional shift began with subtle vibrations that grew in intensity. The walls of the chamber seemed to become transparent, revealing not the emptiness of space but swirling colors that defied description. Amy felt her perception stretching her mind, struggling to process what her senses reported. The Queen extended all 4 arms, enveloping Amy in an embrace that was both physical and mental. Skin contact initiated the now familiar connection, but deeper than before. Amy felt her consciousness merging with the alien mind, as reality itself transformed around them through the Queen's perception. Amy experienced the dimensional shift as it truly was, not merely a method of travel but a transformation of existence itself. The universe folded its secrets, revealed in patterns of energy and information that the Zenari had learned to navigate. Their living ships were designed to move between these layers of reality, following pathways invisible to human science. The journey that would have taken Earth ships years passed in what felt like moments. When awareness returned, Amy found herself still in the Queen's embrace, her mind slowly separating from the alien consciousness. The experience left her trembling with awe and exhaustion. We have arrived, the Queen stated. Her skin glowed with patterns suggesting satisfaction. Your mind performed, admirably human. Few species can comprehend dimensional reality. Even through our perception, Amy moved unsteadily to the viewport Earth hung in space before them. beautiful and fragile blue and white against the blackness. Her home now seemed somehow smaller after experiencing the vastness of dimensional space through Zanari consciousness. Commander Talara entered her skin, pulsing with urgent patterns. Earth defense systems have activated. My queen. They have detected our presence and launched intercept vessels. The queen made a dismissive gesture. Expected contact their leaders, inform them we carry their diplomat and request immediate audience. Amy watched as Earth ships approached, tiny compared to the Zanari vessels. She activated her official communication channel, connecting directly to Earth Command. This is Diplomat Amy Wilson aboard the royal vessel of Queen Nylara, sovereign of the Zanari Empire. The Queen requests immediate audience with Earth leadership. This is a diplomatic mission. I repeat, this is a diplomatic mission. Long minutes passed as messages were relayed and decisions made. Finally, confirmation came through. The Earth Council would receive the Zanari Queen at the orbital diplomatic station, a neutral location where both species could meet safely. The Queen's ship docked with precise movements attaching to the human station, with adaptive seals that adjusted to the different technologies. Commander Talara organized the Royal Guard, their skin patterns synchronized, in protective formation. Before disembarking, the Queen summoned Amy to her private chamber. You will walk beside me as my equal. The Queen selected ceremonial garments for Amy to wear, the fabric alive with subtle patterns, matching the Queen's own yore. Leaders must understand what we have begun. Amy dressed in the alien garments, feeling the material adjust to her form. It's here the significance of her position truly registered. She had become the bridge between species. Her mind had merged with the Zanari Queens. In the eyes of the aliens, she was no longer fully human, yet not Zanari either. She occupied a unique position that had never existed before. The Earth Council waited in the grand chamber of the diplomatic station. 7 representatives from the major Earth territories stood in formal array. Their expressions revealed their tension at this unprecedented meeting. Queen Nylara entered with regal presence, her 4 arms in formal position, her skin glowing with controlled patterns. Amy walked beside her, aware of the shocked expressions of the human diplomats. No human had ever stood as equal to a Zanari royal. The commander and royal guard followed, maintaining protective formation. Earth welcomes the sovereign of the Zanari Empire, Council Leader Patricia Chen said with careful formality. This unexpected visit is an honor, though we would have preferred advance notice. The Queen regarded the humans with royal dignity. My journey could not await your protocols. I come regarding matters that will shape the future of both our species. The council members exchanged glances, clearly uncomfortable with the Queen's directness. We are prepared to discuss trade agreements and cultural exchange. Councillor Chen offered. The Queen made the sound Amy now recognized as amusement. I do not come for trivial exchange. My presence honors your world beyond measure. I come to offer evolution. The council members appeared confused. Amy stepped forward, understanding her role as translator of not just words but concepts. Queen Nylara has shared with me knowledge of Zanari history and development. She explained, their species achieved their current advanced state through controlled evolution, guided by shared consciousness. They believe humanity has similar potential, and we are to take the word of a diplomat who has spent merely weeks among the aliens. Councillor Marcus Reynolds asked, his tone dismissive. You appear to have gone native, Wilson. The alien garments are a bit much. Queen turned to Amy, her skin pulsing with patterns suggesting curiosity. He doubts the connection. Show them. Amy understood what was being asked. She turned to the council members with newfound confidence. With respect, Counselor, you cannot understand what you have not experienced. The Queen and I have shared consciousness. I have experienced Zanari dimensional perception. They have offered humanity a gift beyond price. The chance to evolve beyond our current limitations. The council chamber erupted. In commotion, accusations of brainwashing and alien manipulation flying freely. The Queen's guards moved closer, their skin patterns shifting to defensive postures. Commander Talara positioned herself between the Queen and the agitated humans. "Silence," the Queen commanded, her voice cutting through the chaos. "Like your diplomat, I can prove what I offer," before anyone could react. The Queen raised all four arms. The chamber filled with projected images, pulled directly from Amy's memories. Earth cities, seen through Zanari perception. Human art, music, and emotion as experienced during their mental connections. The dimensional travel experience rendered in ways human senses could comprehend. The council members fell silent, watching in awe as the Queen showed them glimpses of what Amy had experienced. The potential future where human and Zanari consciousness could merge, creating something greater than either species alone. When the images faded, Council Leader Chen stepped forward, her expression transformed by wonder. "What exactly are you proposing, Your Majesty?" The Queen lowered her arms, her skin pulsing with patterns of satisfaction. "I propose alliance, true alliance. Not mere trade or technology exchange, but shared evolution. Your species has untapped potential that mirrors our own past. We can guide you as my ancestors guided us, but the choice must be yours. We do not force evolution. We invite it." The three moons of Zelar. Prime continued their eternal dance unseen from Earth as two species stood at the threshold of a new era. And Amy Wilson, once a simple diplomat, now stood between them, a living bridge between worlds. The first human to experience Zanari consciousness. The prototype for what humanity might become.